Hey, good afternoon, chicks. Let's chat. So listen, y'all ever wonder why, like, a guy can deal with you, right? And then you are so different from the type of women that he normally deals with, right? And whether that is the women who came before you or the women that come after you. And then you may wonder to yourself, like, now I know I'm not like her, so how can he like her and like me? I know I ain't the only person who have did that and thought that. You know why I know that I'm not the only person who did that and thought that? Because I'm a woman, and a lot of times women make comparisons, right? And that's number one. We gonna compare some stuff. Number two, we always, most of the time, put ourselves in the top when we do the comparison. And it don't matter what the situation is, we will find something about ourselves that we feel like is top of the line over the other person. And sometimes that means that we're going to point out the worst characteristic that we know that person have, and then we're going to compare it with our best characteristic. Because why? Because we do stuff like that, especially when we at a certain maturity level, right? I think you have to get older, wiser, mature, and have a lot of self-confidence to get to the point where you really could care less what type of person somebody deal with after you, right? So at a certain point in life, I don't think that you necessarily care about any of that. But again, you have to get to that point. But I say that because, you know, there have been times in my life when I felt like, how in the world do he like me if that over there really is his type? Because me and her, we don't run the same circles, we don't like the same things, we don't dress the same, we don't read the same books, we just don't. So how can that even be? Is it that he really likes her and he didn't really like me, or he really liked me and he didn't really like her? You know, and a lot of times, another thing that we do is that it has to be either or. We don't sit and think that it's both. It can be both. 2 things, 3 things, 4 things can be true at the same time. He can like you and he can like her. He can love her and he can like you. And it's like the more you start to really develop an understanding of certain things, I think it starts to make you be okay with whatever life presents to you. If life presents a wonderful relationship, that's wonderful, but only if it's wonderful. And then if life presents a single life to you, that's wonderful. You will take that, because you know that to a certain degree there's a level of peace and certainty that comes with that, right? It may be a level of loneliness, but you will deal with the loneliness to not have to deal with the chaos and the uncertainty that may come with your partner. And getting to that point, it also takes some growth, some understanding, some life experiences to you know, get to those places where you start to view things different and have different understandings. One time, a long time ago, I asked one of my closest guy friends, like my brother, I was like, hey, this girl here who he dealing with, like everything I'm hearing about her is bad. They say she a hoe, she got all these kids, this, that, and the third, live in the projects, all of that, right? And of course I'm young when I'm saying this, so all of those, to have all of that going at the same time, it is like a negative stereotype, right? Does that make that girl a bad woman? No, because I don't know her. I didn't know her to say that she was a bad person. And just because she had kids, just because she lived in the projects, that didn't make her a bad person. Just because she had multiple sex partners, that didn't necessarily make her a bad person, right? But because I'm putting all these things together and I'm listening at what I done heard, I'm like, what? Ain't no way in the world. So then instantly you say, oh, he must have just was having sex with her. That must have just was it. It couldn't have been nothing serious. Ain't no way in the world. That's how we fool ourselves and we mess ourselves up with those small-minded things. Small-minded things. And what he told me in that instance changed my trajectory, changed the trajectory of my thoughts in regards to women. And he said, she might be a hoe. Even if she is, she may make him feel like a king though. So if she makes him feel like a king, he not going to care about whoever else she done dealt with. Because right now she dealing with him. He likes her and she makes him feel good. And I was like, Because guess what? At that time, I'm in my early 20s. It had never crossed my mind that two things could be true. She could be all of those things and still be the type of person that he or any other man love to be with or love to be around. Because when a lot of times when you hear that, oh, well, this girl, she's a whore, or she's gay, or she's this, she's that, instantly a woman start thinking, oh, he just want to be with her because she gonna do all kind of freaky things, this, right? Until you find out that you might have been more freaky than her. You might have liked to do a whole lot of things that girl was like, yeah, I ain't doing that, I don't do that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, because we compare so much, and we compare from a small-minded spot, and we compare from a place that always puts us at the top. You know what I'm saying? Even when we losing, even if he leave us to go be with her, we still gonna feel like, we top 10. I'm not saying that you should feel any less. I ain't saying that. Because you need self-confidence in this world, because this world will tear you down. If you don't have any, you got to get you some. Because life experiences will tear you down, because they'll have you second guessing and doubting and wondering and, all that. So you got to have something. Your foundation got to have, it has to be built on some self-confidence. That got to be part of your foundation, or you in trouble. But I just always have wondered, how many other women do that? Like, you sit and be like, ain't no way it is a way he like her and like you. And the other reasons that happen is because we tend to think we know that person so well, because we've been dealing with them for a couple of years, so we've known them all our life, etc., so forth. But then you be straight surprised when you find out he's dealing with this person or that person. So what that tell you, you didn't know them like you thought you knew them. It's parts of people that you may never know. It's things people may like that you may never tap into. And those are things you don't be counting on. That's why that man could have a homebody type wife at home, do everything that he asks at the drop of a dime, don't question him, let him have his freedom. But then he go out and the type of woman that is his side piece, she's totally different than his wife or whoever he have at home. She talk back, she'll throw them hands on him if necessary. It's her way or the highway, and he don't want to hit the highway. He like her. Even though he got a woman at home that don't give him no pushback. He like the one who give him all the smoke. And that don't say he don't love that lady that's at home or his girlfriend, whoever. That don't say he don't love her. She a whole different breed. But that's when I say 2, 3, 4, 5 things can be true at the same time. He likes her. He likes her demeanor. He loves that she don't give him no pushback. He loves that about her. He respect that. Because he don't really want no pushback. But the girl over here who giving him all the smoke, he may love her conversation. He may love the way she smells. He may love the way she put on her stuff. And her whole vibe and everything. So he'll deal with her talking back. He'll deal with her acting up. He'll deal with this, that, and the third. Because the things he like about her, they heavy. They weigh. They hold some weight. And then when the chick find out about the girl, of course the person gonna paint the picture. When they paint the picture, they either paint it all bad or they paint it all good. Right? So now they done painted the picture to you that, oh, she's like this, she's like that. And then now here you go on your high horse, well, ain't none of that. I can't believe, like somebody, I can't believe he messing with her. Not only is he messing with her, he like her, he might love her. But like I say, because we be on our high horse, we be on our small-mindedness, we don't know him like we think we know him. We go to, saying all way, ain't no way, I know good and well he don't. Oh, he tried me. All of that. You hear me? All of that. Cause we just know good and well. And it's funny because a lot of times when we get with a person and we really like that person, we put our best foot forward. And we trying to show up for that person in the best way that we can. Like you try to show them cook your good meals. Try to show enough whip up your good desserts. You try to show enough, make sure that your hygiene is together and, everything. Make sure your lingerie look good. Make sure your panties match your bras. All that good stuff. We try to show up when we show enough like that man. And when we trying to show him, baby, our standards is a little different. When we trying to show him that, why is this officer? Let me move because he about to. When we trying to really show ourselves and show up as our best self, because we like and care about this man. Well, we be told when we find out that he dealing with something that we feel like is subpar. Oh, you talking about a gut punch? Well, that be about the worst thing. Like, boy, I know good well you ain't tried me with that. I know they lying. I know they cannot be delivering me the right information. She don't even like me. or she like all of the men. Like, we go to wigging out like, what in the world? And that's one of the reasons why when we choosing and we picking and we showing up, like, you really have to make those decisions wisely. And sometimes it ain't even about how wise you make the decision. You still have to move a certain way once you make that decision. Like, hey, this is my person. This is who I'm gonna show up for. This is who I want to be with. But you have to do that with an understanding that this person may do some things that I never thought they would do. This person has some things about them that I don't know and that I may never know. And if I knew them, I may not agree with them. If I knew everything about them, I might not even like them. That may be a part of him that is a deal breaker for me. Right? And for me, like, there was something that it like bothered me to my soul when I felt like, when I ran across a dude who I found out, or I end up, you know, knowing some kind of way that he's dealing with a girl that's very promiscuous. Why? Because I take STDs real serious, right? And I know that for a good part of my life, when I was sexually active and moving certain kind of ways, I was extra, like, brain on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to find out that you're dealing with a person who she's promiscuous, she's a horror. Oh boy, you put my life in jeopardy. Oh my goodness, boy, I'm about to go to jail. Boy, I'm about to bust your head to the white meat. Boy, your mama gonna be mad with me. Like, I used to feel some kind of way about that, you know. Like, don't put my life in jeopardy, boy. You know, like, I always been the type that, like, hey, when I'm doing my thing, like, I'm getting tested for this, for that. Like, hey, and I'm letting him know, like, bro, listen, got my test today. They negative. Because I'm letting you know, they better stay negative if I'm trusting you with my life. Because I'm going to know where it came from. Understand me? Like, your mama better have that insurance policy up to date, paid up. She might be having to cash in on it, boy. But yeah. So I just have found that interesting, how, you know, that's been something that we just wonder about. You know, how can he like me, and then, you know, if I'm not a plain Jane, but then I look at his previous girls and they're plain Janes. So it's like, well, which one do you like? Do you like a plain Jane? You like a jazzy little chick? You like a laid back broad? You like a goth type broad? You like a, you know, everything. Okay, all the women you dealt with, they were slim, they were small, they was, you know, and that ain't me. So what is it? You got a fetish or something? You know what I'm saying? You got a fetish for that girl? Or do you like, you know? And you just so happen to be dealing with smaller women, but you really like, you know, it's so many things. Like, it never has to be either or. You know, it just doesn't. It just doesn't, you know. And I think when we really wrap our mind around that, then we'll be able to stop asking, you know, so many of those kind of questions, and letting certain things plague our hearts and plague our minds, because we understand that man could like all kind of women, you know, and some men do like all kind of women. But you know, some have a type, and then some, they just like women. So they don't have to have a particular type. She doesn't have to, no, like they just like women. And you have to understand that. And I don't know if it's because maybe us as women, maybe we have a particular kind of dude that we like. So we think that guys supposed to be like that because we have like a certain look, or a certain this, a certain that. And not saying that guys don't, but they're a little more liberal. Some of us will be like, well, I can't date no man that don't have no beard. Well, I can't date a man that this, Guys, they be a little more liberal when it comes to certain things. I have seen guys who, they love women who with long hair, but then had the biggest crush on a bald head girl. And by bald head, I mean like, a girl that like wear like a low cut, something like that. Like, wait a minute, you don't even like short hairstyles and short haircuts, but it's something about her that you're crazy about. You don't care nothing about that long hair with her. And it's just like some of the things I talk about is because like I listen a lot to certain things that that I have heard like women say and talk about. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I think that we be our own worst enemy because we have a small understanding and a small mindset when it comes to certain things. And a lot of times guys, they be banking on that. They be banking on that you're going to be viewing things from a very small space. So when he tell you, I don't like no girls like that. I don't even mess with no, I don't like no girls over 200 pounds. So because she about 140, she believe that. And she want to believe that. Whole time he can't get enough of them chunky thighs, baby. Whole time. Whole time he can't get enough of them, So it's like you have to be very mindful because they be, listen, don't get so caught up in, trying to be better, needing to feel like you're better. I understand that it's hurtful when they choosing somebody else over you, or they choosing somebody else. But why they choosing you? But I just think far too many times we be too upset with the female and we start picking her apart. I mean, I done had some females pick me apart. You hear me? I'm talking about tell the whole, everything they think they know about me. They make sure they tell the guy. You know why? Because they trying their hardest to make him not like me. And the whole time, guess what? Everything you telling him about, he don't care nothing about that. He just like talking to me. He just like that I get him. He just like that I understand him. He just like that I'm intelligent. See? And you could tell him all about whatever you think you know about me. But if those not the things that he's even intrigued with me about, it does not matter. It does not even matter. If he's intrigued with my brain, it don't matter because you telling him, oh, I mess with this person. Because in his mind, he's saying, why they ain't cuff her? What could have happened? Like, she's so dope, right? So I think, a lot of times we got to be mindful, when we doing a whole lot of running off at our mouth about, what this woman is, what she ain't, this, that, or third. Man, please. It's some amazing women out here that do amazing things. And just because when you look at them, you don't see anything amazing about them, that don't mean nobody sees anything amazing about them. It just means you don't see it, you don't want to see it, you refuse to see it. And I understand a lot of times when you get into it with a woman, or you've been through some things with a woman about another man, or this woman keeps showing up, he keeps denying her. That's aggravating. That pisses you off. That makes you feel some type of way about the woman. So yes, you start saying everything you could think of about her. Because you're tired, you're pissed off. You sick of her. You sick of hearing about her. Like if you want her, have her. But like, both is not an option. Or you know, figure it out, dude. So a lot of times, you know, we start exhibiting aggression and saying, you know, stuff about women on the strength of that. We're just tired of, you know, her being in the picture. But for some reason, we forget that we have a choice. Like, we can leave him alone. We can go on about our business and let him have whatever it is he keep playing up under your, you know what I'm saying? He keep playing up under you with her. Let him have her. If she's so wonderful, send her to him. Send him to her. Enjoy what y'all want for your wedding and for your wedding. I send a good gift. Sure will. Thank you for taking this fool up off my hands, sis. Good luck. But yeah, so I'm almost at the place where I need to be, and I just wanted to chat with y'all and just to give y'all something else to think about sometimes, and encourage y'all not to go so hard on the female, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't really know her. You just know that y'all like the same person. You just know that y'all have a person that's both interested in you and interested in her. And when you look at her, you don't see what he could be interested in, but it ain't even for you to see it. But that's just when you make a mental note and say, okay, it's something about him that I must don't know, right? Because if this is a woman that he's truly interested in, if she keep coming up over and over, okay, he's interested in something about her. And if you can't figure out why he interested in her, not that you need to figure it out though, but if it plagues you, then just rest well and say, okay, it's something about it he like. Whatever that may be. Whatever it may be, it's something about her he likes. And you accept that, you understand that. And then you make your next moves, whatever that may be. But anyway, chicks, y'all have a good and wonderful day.